guys, so I've realized that I don't really share much of my personal life on YouTube, so I thought I would do a little bit of like a college experience, what I've experienced in college, some advice that I have, and all that good stuff. So I do attend California Polytechnic State University, otherwise known as Cal Poly. It is the best school. It's a beach town. It's awesome. I'm like 10 minutes from the beach. It's perfect location. I am majoring in architecture, which is a 5-year program, which is a long time, but it's going by so fast. I'm in my 3rd year right now, so I'm at like my halfway mark right now. Cal Poly is on a quarter system, which I love. We only have 10 weeks in each quarter, so it goes by super fast. We start like late September and then we get out like mid-June. So as an architect major, it is so crazy. Everyone's always like, oh, do you even sleep? Half the time, I don't. This year has been crazy so far. They don't really teach you much about architecture. It's more about solving problems and doing random art projects is what it feels like. I feel like I can go on so many different tangents about architecture, so maybe I'll just make a separate video about that. Let me know if you're interested in that. Architecture is such an amazing major. I would totally recommend it, especially Cal Poly being the #2 architecture school in the country. I figured I would just touch on a few points about my college experience and just like a little bit of advice. So starting out with freshman year of college, I want to talk about orientation. So for Cal Poly's orientation, we have the week of welcome. So it's a whole entire week before you start school. So how the WOW groups work, you get a WOW group based on the dorm you're in, and I was in the architecture dorm, so a bunch of people in my WOW group were architect majors, which is awesome because you spend so much time with them. And so it's a group of about like 10 people, 10 to 15, and you get 2 WOW leaders, and my 2 WOW leaders were awesome. They were landscape architects. And during WOW week, you just go to different like seminars, you go to tips, and just like a big orientation event. But what they don't tell you about orientation is it is exhausting. This is gonna sound kind of bad, but having to talk to people like every hour of every day is so tiring, just like being social, and it's like non-stop for a whole week. But some advice I have for that is during orientation week, don't be afraid to just put yourself out there. Some of the people that I met during my orientation week are still people that I'm friends with to this day, and like I'll see them on campus, and it's just like a familiar face to see. Also during orientation, try and go to all of these scheduled events that they have for you. For us, it wasn't a mandatory thing, and a lot of people didn't actually show up, which makes me feel a little bad for the leaders. But when you do attend events, it's an easier way to meet people, and they kind of do like the icebreaker games. I thought it was fun. Again, it was super exhausting, so once it was like time to start school, I was super excited that orientation was over. But I still had those people throughout my first year of college that were in my WOW group, so it was just, again, like a familiar face to see. And then another second tip for first year, we had dorms, and our dorms were like a 10 by 10 room. Oh my gosh, it was insane. I was in a triple, so 3 girls, 1 room, and a public restroom that you shared with everyone on your floor. So a recommendation I have for that is to not stay in your room. I remember my first night in my dorm, we left our door open and we had Cheez-Its, and we were like, you have to tell us one fact and we'll give you a Cheez-It. And from that, I met like some really awesome girls. But just try not to stay in your room. For us, we had like a little communal area downstairs that had games and stuff and a TV. So just try, again, put yourself out there. I know sometimes it's super uncomfortable for me. I really don't like doing that, even though I am pretty outgoing most of the time. But still, at first for me, it's hard to just meet people and put myself out there. So just be yourself. That's it. Another tip I have, just in general for all the years, is go to class. When you think about it, you are paying to go to school, and it's such a blessing. Like, you get to go to school. A lot of other people don't get to go to school. So just showing up for class. And I've noticed I have failed a class before. I failed econ. In that class, I really didn't show up to. It was one of those big lecture halls that they didn't know you were there. So I would just recommend, you are paying for this education. It's such a blessing to be able to learn and take these classes, and with that, take classes that you want to take. At Cal Poly, we have some really cool classes. My roommate is a business major, and she took like astronomy, botany, like you could take anything. I know we have like a Beyonce class. I don't even know what that class is about, but it's offered. As an architect major, we don't have a ton of free electives, but anytime you could take just like a fun little class, I would totally recommend it, just because this is your education. This is the only time you'll be able to do this. You have these 4 years just to have fun, and then you have the rest of your life to work and be serious. So I would just recommend taking those fun classes, and going along with that, make sure you participate in extracurricular activities, whatever that may be. In the town that I live in, we have such an amazing scenery, so like hiking, that is such an amazing extracurricular activity, or just going to the beach, watching the sunset. That was always such an awesome thing for us, especially during first year, just to get out of the dorm. We would just drive to the beach and watch the sunset, and for us, that was our extracurricular activity. So outside of school, just finding that little niche, whatever it may be. At Calpoly, we have something called Crew, so it's the Christian organization. I know they have it all throughout California. But Crew, going to Crew on Tuesday nights and worshiping, that was such an awesome extracurricular activity. Or even we have a place on campus called Front Porch, and it's a free coffee place that you can just socialize, work on homework, whatever it is. They had a little piano in there, and it's free coffee. I found that those little things is such a great way to essentially get yourself through college. I know sometimes it can be so stressful and just so overwhelming, and having those little things that kind of just lift you up and brighten your day. So my next tip would be finding a balance. This was super hard for me in my first 2 years, and once I figured this out, I found that I was a lot less stressed. It's okay to not do everything. For me, I had to stop interning because I needed to focus more on school, and that's okay. Or maybe you can't show up to that one event, whatever it may be. It's just finding balance. Make sure you're prioritizing, especially school. You are in school to go to school, so that should be your priority. And next for me would probably be my friendships. My relationships with people are so important. You should always be making time for those people. I know it is hard in such a busy schedule, but maybe it means you can't watch that Netflix show tonight or whatever it may be. My roommates and I loved to go get ice cream or go eat food. I feel like food is just like a communal thing. That could be just a little thing you do with your friends. So just finding a balance and prioritizing, and for me, I have a planner that I put everything in. I tend to forget things really easily, so if I have something in my head, I'm like, oh, I need to write that down. And having that planner literally has saved my life. Okay, so the camera died, but going off what I was saying earlier, I was talking about my planner. Going with that, being organized. You cannot go through college without being organized. My favorite thing to do is make one of those like bullet journals. That makes organizing so fun. I'm kind of an organization freak. Whether it's just like organizing your papers or organizing what homework you're gonna do, I think it is so important. So I think that is going to be it for this video. Comment if you guys want some more college advice or want to know about architecture. I would love to talk about it. Overall, just have fun. It's college. It's the only time you will have before you have to go out in the real world. So comment down below what video you'd like to see next. It's almost Christmas, guys. I'm so excited. So happy holidays, and I will see you later. Bye!